Last October in Sydney, Australia, a teenager named Jessica Watson got in a little sailboat called the Pink Lady, and when she came back 7 months later, she was recognized as the youngest person to sail around the world by herself non-stop. Before we talk to her about it, here's a look back at her trip of a lifetime. Jessica Watson was just 12 years old when she first dreamt about sailing around the world. Motivated by the story of Jessie Martin, the youngest person ever to do so, she decided her life's ambition was to someday break Martin's record. Just 4 years later, 16-year-old Jessica was ready to begin her own voyage. And last October, armed with her parents' support and a video camera, she began her epic journey around the world. Along the way, she documented her adventure, an adventure that was filled with memories of a lifetime.
Look at them all go!
1 month in, she celebrated her first crossing of the equator.
Here he goes! It's not really that bad.
She then spent the holidays at Point Nemo.
I'm having a bit of a white Christmas out here.
Rounded Cape Horn.
This is the most amazing thing. I've just spotted land.
And passed south of Cape Town. Finally, on May 15th of this year, after spending 210 days alone at sea, Jessica returned to Sydney, beating her inspiration, Jessie Martin's record, and fulfilling her childhood dream. And Jessica Watson is here exclusively with us this morning. She just flew in from Australia, where her book about this adventure, True Spirit, is the country's #1 bestseller. It's on sale here in the United States as of today. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Not bad, huh?
Not bad, considering the jet lag and everything else?
Oh, catching up with it all. So.
All right. Did you grow up on the sea? Did your parents have a sailboat?
Yeah.
What was it that made you think you could do this?
Look, I don't know. I wasn't, we're not, I suppose, the traditional sailing family. It was Mum and Dad sent us kids along to the sailing school, and we sort of fell for it. Well, me a bit slower than the others, and then sort of dragged Mum and Dad into it. So it's sort of not quite the traditional way to do it. And, we got into sailing and boating, I suppose, quite a bit, and all of us ended up living on a family's motorboat for quite a few years,
right.
5 or 6 years. So sort of really got into it.
So when you had the idea, though, to sail around the world, and you sat down with your parents and said, I want to do this, what was their reaction?
Well, the interesting thing is, a lot of people find it really hard to believe, quite a surprise, but, only a few years ago, I was actually the kid that was scared of everything. So I was a little girl.
You're scared of everything?
Yeah, trailing around behind the others. I didn't like getting wet, didn't like heights, didn't like going fast. It's kind of the last person you'd imagine, to sit you down and say, I'm going to sail around the world.
Right.
So, I had this idea, and I suppose it grew, and in the end I had to tell myself, look, if you're going to sail around the world, you're going to have to toughen up a bit, and do this. So.
Toughen up a bit.
Listen,
I sail a little bit, and the idea of it scares me silly. I couldn't even conceive of it. I mean, going around below Africa with seas, these seas as tall as buildings.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I suppose call me crazy, but, I had quite a few years to get my head around this, and I suppose it just kept building up. I kept asking myself, my bedroom wall used to be covered with pictures of ginormous waves. I kept asking myself, could you do this? What would you do in that situation?
Right.
And look, I wanted to give it a go. Obviously, I don't think people realise, make this as safe as possible, of course.
Sure.
And then get out there and give it a go, give it everything.
This is very controversial, because younger and younger people are trying to do different kinds of feats all of the time, and people are saying the parents are crazy, the kids are irresponsible, and within your own household, how do you answer that?
Definitely. I mean, look, sailing around the world, it's a big, scary, and I suppose a dangerous thing to be doing. And for those people who was, pretty much everyone who didn't understand the preparation, the team of, experienced people around me, the reason why Mum and Dad were letting me go, it must have sounded downright crazy. And you can understand that, because, people were worried for me. But, Mum and Dad, like I said, were not crazy. They let me go for a reason, because we'd done everything possible to make it
as safe as possible, including a boat that would right itself. How many, were there times, because it tipped, how many times?
I think with 6 knockdowns, so that's when the boat's turned completely upside down. So
and there are enough airtight compartments in a sailboat like that it will eventually right itself, right?
Yeah, oh, it rights itself quite quickly. You've got a load in the keel, the boat brings itself back on, and you just sit there, hang on until that happens, tight, and
they're
really,
also,
really tough little boat.
You're out there a day turns into a week, and a week turns into a month, and a month turns into several months. You are all by yourself.
Yeah.
Did you think you would go crazy?
Well, you know, I always talk to myself, so nothing new there, but, yeah.
So your own best company?
I can put up with myself. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, but...
Right.
You know, it's amazing what you get used to. I was very lucky. I had a lot of, you know, amazing technology with the satellite phone.
Sure,
I was
sure.
able to keep in touch with the family and that sort of thing. But
so you complete this journey, and as you're completing the journey, you return to Sydney Harbour, and there are tens of thousands of people out
yeah, look,
to greet you.
Yeah,
It was
100,000.
every network in Australia broadcast this for hours. What was it like to be embraced like that?
Oh, completely overwhelming. I mean, here I am, just spent 210 days out there by myself. You know, there's not a lot out there. There's a lot of empty ocean. I think I saw land 3 times, not counting, you know, return and you know, leaving Sydney for the whole of that time. So you get back and there's this, you know, estimate 100,000 or more people on the harbour. It's just completely overwhelming.
Wow.
So
what a story
pretty
to tell.
amazing.
And more to tell in the book. Jessica, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks.
Do appreciate it. We'll be right back.